Jerry, what's going on? Jerry, let me know if, can you hear my voice? Okay, you guys can hear me. You heard the train horn. Cool. I don't know why I was having such a hard time with that. Right on. Cool. We're just walking down here to the Wenatchee River. This is a public access. This is a real popular swimming hole in the summertime. Real popular. Yeah, it's got a nice big sandy beach here. Let's see if I can get better access over here. I don't want to break an ankle. Yeah, and this river's high right now. Normally it would be, the beach would be, have another 10, 15 feet to it. A big old piece of PVC pipe washed down from somewhere. There's the aqueduct over there. Right above it is the road. That's an irrigation aqueduct. You can see it has some, quite a few suspended parts. So this is a really good place because the water was all the way up here, and you can see how it washed this bank out and stuff. This is a good place to come look for rocks if you like rock hounding right after the high water, because the county will come down here and build this back up. Most of this is fill anyway, but every once in a while you can find something. You can see you got a lot of granite, a lot of basalt, lots of basalt. That's kind of a cool rock. That's not a real popular color. It kind of looks like chert. No, I never have. That's kind of an interesting idea though, you know it? Hey, so many gins, what's up? Yeah, this stretch of river. Hey, what's going on, Brother Matty? This stretch of river last year was only open, I think, 7 or 8 days for fishing. But this is all spawning beds in here for steelhead and salmon. So when they do open this, it's only open for, you know, like I say, a week. And it's fly fishing only. Which I kind of like that part. special rules, so when it is open, I can come down here and use like a dry fly with a couple droppers on it, because it's selective rules. Yeah, it's a beautiful stretch of river right here. Pacific Northwest, what's going on, man? Yeah, you can see, even though with all the rain we've had for the last week and all the runoff that's going on because of the warm temperatures, you can still see the bottom in a good 8 feet of water. Yeah, this is a beautiful stretch of river. Good place to come set in the summertime. Put your lawn chair out in the water. Walk down here and take a look-see. Yeah, when the county comes down and does this build-up, they'll haul that piece of PVC out of here. They keep this place pretty clean because it's a public swimming hole. About as far as we're going. Man, there's all kinds of stuff hung up in all kinds of debris, and it's like trash. Old gnarly trees. Ooh, I just got a good pop out of my back. Maddie, I already mentioned to everyone that you're, hey Adrian, what's going on, man? Karen, good to see you. Yeah, remember, everybody, Brother Maddie's going to be tying flies tonight at 7:30 UK time. Unless he says otherwise. Yeah, man, a lot of this bank washed out. Nice pieces of quartz here. I found some cool stuff down here. A couple of shaving stones for like tapering arrow shafts. And I found a couple axe heads, stone axe heads. And there's a piece of basalt out here behind me. Right now, that piece of basalt's probably under about 6 feet of water. But it was a grinding stone. And you can see two huge kind of troughs that are worn to that piece of basalt. So they were using it for probably a few hundred years. But it's that piece of basalt probably weighs about 600 pounds, so it'll stay there. So the rules are, I can't dig for anything, but if it's laying on top of the ground, I can pick it up. What's this here? Nothing. And if it's just a cool looking rock, there's no problem. You can pick those up all day long. but you can't do any digging. Yeah, it's a beautiful day down here, man. I can't wait for summer. Yeah, it's nice down here. You can actually walk out in the sand and barefoot. Backtrack. That's good. That's funny, man. I gotta put my glasses on. Having a hard time seeing some of the comments here. Scottish Mike, what's going on? Hi, Julia. How are you doing? Oh, okay, Maddie. I see that now. Okay. Starting a sock account. That was fun. A fun chat this morning. I enjoyed it. Let's see anything over here. A weird looking rock. Kind of cool. I'm not seeing anything that really catches the eye though. Except for this piece of, that's kind of a cool looking piece of bark that's been in the river. But as soon as that thing dries out, it'll just start, all the grain will start opening up. I'm not a troublemaker. Usually. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything real appealing. That's all that's left of your ore. It's all worn down on the Titanic. Yeah, that flue that's going around is pretty nasty. Oh, check this out. So see how this tree's all gnawed down like that? That's beaver. That's a beaver. There's lots of beaver in this river. Hey, Positive Pokes, what's going on? Let's see, get you wrenched up. I'm just looking for cool rocks. This was all underwater for about 3 months and really washed the bank out. And sometimes you can find some really cool, even gemstones, crick rubies and garnets. Yeah, I hope you get well, Maddie. Oh, here's another one. Might be able to see this one better. So you see how that tree is all gnawed away? That's from beaver. As a matter of fact, no. I thought they just started chewing on that tree, but it doesn't look like it. But here's, this is beaver here. Well, you can see, like right in front of me, that's 5 feet high. So this river was actually probably 8 or 9, maybe even, yeah. Hey, Trapper Born, what's going on, man? Yeah, but you can see how all that stuff is shoved in there. That's where the water was that high. And like I said, that's 5 feet in front of my face, and then it's a good another 5 foot down to the water level now. So you can see how high that river was. 10 foot higher than it is right now. In fact, I think at one time they said it crested at 18 feet over. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I run into some of our friends here in our community in some really strange places. I'm not going to mention anything for all of our privacy protection, okay? Yeah, I love it here, man. This is a really good place to swim in the summertime. Yeah, I seen that. I actually looked up on that lake by by name, and it said 5 catfish, no size limit, 5 channel cat. No, I'm not on Discord. Backtrack. Yeah, that was a strange place. Well, I may not be cheap, but I am reasonable. There are some crazy channels out there, man. I don't want to talk smack on anybody's content, but the ones that get me are I think it's in India where they're at the fish market. They cut up the fish for you, and the way they cut up fish, I would have never dreamed of cutting fish up like that. I always try to fillet it, and they just chop it into big chunks, and I'm not gonna get into. I don't want to talk bad. Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah, that's where the hygiene is oh my God. Well, the guy he had plastic bags over his feet because he was holding this big hook knife that was mounted on this piece of wood, and he had his feet holding the piece of wood while he was chopping up the fish. So he did have plastic bags on his feet. Yeah, blade straight up in the air. You know the channel I'm talking about. And it just looks like those blocks have never, ever been washed off. But, can I turn the channel? Can I just go by? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was something, man. I mean, the one that got me though was this one I was watching, and they were mixing up. It must have been a meal for either a huge wedding or an entire village, because this pot was like, it had to be every bit of 12 foot deep and probably 8 foot in diameter, and they got a ladder in there, and they're dumping all this stuff in. There's a guy down in there with a boat oar cutting that stuff up, or mixing it all up as these other guys are dumping this stuff in. And I noticed right away, the first thing I noticed was this guy that's down in the vat mixing it up. He's got a big, like a white Band-Aid on his big toe. And about 8 minutes through the video, that Band-Aid is gone. So it's in that whatever they're gonna eat. Cut up a salmon like that. Yeah, it'd be fast, wouldn't it? It would be fast. That's Asian enough. I got 2 nieces that are half Japanese. My sister married a Japanese guy. Well, they're probably only a quarter, because Kenny was my son-in-law. He was half Japanese, so that would mean my nieces are a quarter. Yeah, fungus toe in the soup, man. And those cats, if I catch some of those cats, I'm gonna eat them, because that lake up there is it's all rock and gravel bottom. It's not a mud bottom. So I'll definitely be eating those catfish out of there. Yeah, I like my salmon fillet too. And those catfish, I'll be filleting those babies too. And those catfish will make excellent fish and chips. You know, it's kind of a bummer. If I went over on the Sound, on the Puget Sound somewhere, I could get fish and chips like this, like they have in the UK and Scotland. It's, you know, when you got an actual fillet, you know, 12, 14 inches long and 5, 6 inches wide, nice big cod fillet. But like, I'm 2 hours from the Sound to a fresh fish market, and all we get when we get fish and chips is just like 4x4 pieces, you know. We're not getting a whole fillet, so it just doesn't feel like good old-fashioned fish and chips. Detroit River cats. Do you eat those, Backtrack? Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't the Detroit River kind of polluted? That's one nice thing about up here is, you know, the mining stopped 110 years ago around here, and there wasn't any old smeltering or anything like that done here. The ore was hauled out, or they had stamp mills, and then they would separate it like on big shaker tables. There wasn't a lot of, and there's no silver, so there was no having to mix other metals with it and, you know, burn off and all that kind of stuff. Whereas the gold, they could just pan it and had, you know, pure gold. Yeah, things come out all messed up. Oh yeah, sturgeon would be awesome for fish and chips, man. It's been a long time since I had sturgeon. My grandfather down in California was an avid sturgeon fisherman. In fact, I got a picture of me hanging next to about a 5.5 footer. I got one of his sturgeon rods. So how'd you do, Pacific Northwest the other day? Did you catch any sturgeon? Well, you know, that's how these cats up at this lake the other day when I was up there, the way I have to fish these cats is I'm going to have to keep one pole in my hands, because these, and then that power bait too, they can strip power bait really, really easy. You know, those cats will come up and you might see one or two little tiny bumps, and then boom, a huge strike, and that's it. He's gone. He stripped you. So I'm gonna get either some worms. Well, I got my bait balls I made. Those will be real. Those will be impossible for those fish to strip those, because when I take those off, I have to cut those off with a knife. So I'm bringing those, and it's a liver with strawberry Kool-Aid and anise oil on them, and that's what I'm going to use. Right on. Oh, your stash. Savvy. Yeah, those catfish up there, man, and they were just, every one of them hit exactly the same way. Just maybe one or two tiny little, you'll see your pole and you'll go, did I just see that pole move? And then boom, big strike, and then it's over. They're gone. So if I have my bait balls on there and a little bit bigger hook, I'm going to use the biggest hook I can use, is which will be up to a 1/2 inch throat, and I'm going to try to catch some of those cats. Hey, Onan, what's up, man? Here, let's get you rinsed up. Whoop. And the chat's moving so fast, every time I try to hit on Odin, I get somebody else. There we go. There you go, Onan. Now you can connect. Kelly Belly, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Randall, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping in, brother. Looks like the whole gang's in. You betcha, Onan. Anytime, man. Anytime, brother. Love your music, man. You guys got to check Onan out. He plays guitar really, really well. Steve, what's going on? Good to see you, Steve. Yeah, we just walked down to the river and looked at a few cool rocks, but it was just such a beautiful day today. First time we've had, well, yesterday we had some sunshine, and today it's just gorgeous. I thought I'd just do a little live here. Sir Martin, what's up, brother? Good to see you, my friend. Nice. Yeah, my wife told me last night, oh, I don't know, about 7 o'clock, I ordered this thing of power bait, and it's 4 different colors of power bait, and it was a hell of a deal. It was like half the price it was in the stores, and it showed up yesterday, and she told me, why don't you go fishing tomorrow morning? Well, I got some other stuff I got to get ready. I'm going to change my rigging up a little bit. Raining there. Yeah, I'm kind of getting burned out on the rain, man. It's been doing a lot of that. So tomorrow morning, yeah, I'm going fishing. All right, guys, we're going to drive now. God, what a gorgeous day. And it's 40 degrees. I'll show you guys this. So, let me get a better spot here. I just missed a good spot. Here we go. So, as you guys can see, there's beaver ponds out here. Lots and lots of water out there. Well, if you look right there, get it bigger. Yeah, that right there, that looks kind of like a brush pile. That's the beaver lodge. That's where the beaver lives, right there. It just looks like a brush pile. Oh, that's right, I forgot. You got bees. Cool, man. Are you heading out, Odin? Yeah, this is going to be probably be a screwed up year for my apples again. Last year, my apples went into bloom, and the guy down the road that has bees, he didn't have his bees out yet. So I missed the pollination there, and my pollinators didn't get bloom until after my blooms had already came off my apple trees. Oh, no kidding. Man, I've been lucky, you know what? I've never got beaver fever, but one time I went elk hunting, and I was up in the woods. I don't remember what I was doing. Oh, I was probably elk hunting, but I seen this elk bust loose, and he ran down into this drainage. Well, I knew where that drainage went to, and I could access it from the other end, about 5 miles away. So I booked down the road, and I jump on that this trail, and I'm walking along this creek. Well, it starts warming up, and I'm really thirsty. I forgot my canteen because I was all spun up about this big bull elk. Well, there was a creek right there, and I just thought, you know what, I got to get a drink of water. So I just guzzled a bunch of it, and it tasted kind of brackish, but it was because of all the leaves. It was fall. Well, I walk another 3/4 of a mile, about a mile up this creek, and I come to these 3 beaver ponds, big beaver ponds, and in the third one was a dead cow, and I mean the whole top of this beaver pond just had blue mold on it, and I just thought, oh man, I'm gonna get sicker than shit. And I never got nothing. I couldn't believe it, man. I thought for sure my guts are toast, man. I'm gonna be going to the doctor. Well, it can be, Martin. It's kind of like one of those English words that spelt the same, pronounced the same, but mean 2 totally different things. Yeah, beaver fever's no fun, and you usually have to go get some kind of penicillin to get rid of it too. It's bad news. That bar is never ever open, but the pot shop right next to it, it's open. So I have like 3 pot shops within 15 minutes of my house. Yeah, this road is all boogered up. Yeah, see, there was a sign right there that said no jumping or fishing from the bridge. Most of the bridges in Washington, you cannot fish off a bridge, hardly at all in this state. And these roads absolutely suck. I pretty much do have an iron gut, man. The only thing that really makes me queasy, and I mean gagging queasy, and I'll lose my shit, is cleaning up dog crap with one of those gloves on. It's all I can do to do that. But like if one of my dogs gets sick and throws up, oh my god. And I don't know why, but every time they do, I mean, they can do it at the other end of the house, and within just a few minutes I can smell it, man, and I'm like, oh my god, my gut just starts turning. The only way I can do it is I'll go out in the garage and get an old rag and just immediately throw over the top of it and get as much of it up as I can. But that's one thing that kicks my ass is dog vomit. Ugh. on, brother? I'm gonna pull over up here at this coffee shop and I'll get caught up on chat. Get caught up on chat here, guys. Zoom it up so you guys can see those mountains. That right there, that ridge right there is called Dragon Ridge. Yep. Yeah, that sucks, Maddie. Sorry to hear, man. And you got two kids going to school, don't you? So they're probably bringing home everything. I gotta plug my phone in. I didn't realize I was down that low. There we go. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, this that up there, there's in the lower part of that snowy looking range you see, the Stewart Range. It's a spur off the Cascades, but like all those big clear openings you see up there's no access up there. When they do log it, it's helicopter logged. There's a few spots you can see it look like almost a trail. Well, that's where they had a high lead set up. They can get a high lead up in there. With natural medicine, that's cool. Yep. My buddy that I worked with, he had a kid in school, and every time that kid got sick, everybody on the crew got sick. She bring it home, give it to Dusty. Dusty come to work, we all get sick. Since I haven't really had the flu bad. You know, I've had like the 24-hour virus, but since COVID, I've been real lucky, and I never did get COVID. But you know, all those vaccinations you get in school and everything, like the mumps and the measles and all that, I never got any of that stuff, but I brought it all home and gave it all to my little sister. I was a carrier. Public enemy number one. once I get up here to my house, I'll get caught up on chat. There'll be a few moments of buffering here in about another 5 minutes or so. It'll go in, come out, go in, come out, and then once I get inside my neighborhood, I'll have a good solid service. Sorry about the tire noise, guys. These tires are very noisy. Very aggressive tires. And I always mute you guys when I come in the hood, because this road is just terrible. Yeah, I should be off mute now, but I always mute coming in here because this road is so bad, and with all the fishing gear and stuff I have in here, this thing sounds like a covered wagon coming down the road. So I'm gonna check the mail real quick before I go up the driveway, guys. All right, we are home. I guess that's not that good of a view, is it? That's a better one, I guess. Up on that ridge line. Yeah, station wagons. That's like my little Jeep I'm in right now. It's a little SUV, and it's handy. I got all my fishing gear back there. I got 4 or 5 tackle boxes. Like I said, half a dozen fishing poles, my net, um, tripod, my little cart I use for loading all my gear in and going down to the river. Sit here and finish my smoke. I might, hell, nice as it is, I might do some raking and burning today, man. Get a jump on it.